Previously on the Trey King Show.
Tonight, a janitor in an East Houston medical building facing disgusting allegations. Police say an employee contracted an STD after the janitor allegedly relieved himself in her water bottle.
Now, she claims she caught him doing it on a spy camera after becoming suspicious.
Yo, YouTube. What's going on? Trey back again to hit y'all another video. Hope y'all having a very great day. Hope y'all having a very great week. My day is going absolutely stupendous. Big shout out to all the channel members and subscribers to the Trey King Show family. And much love to each and every last one of you all. And you all, we have a story out of Texas by way of Houston. And big shout out to everybody in the great state of Texas, everybody outside the great city of Houston. Now, before I start this story, I want to send a special thank you out to my channel members and also to my subscribers for sending me this story. And also, keep these stories coming. And as you all may know, today is what? Yes, today is Thursday. And this story has Thursday written all over it. Now, I want you all to know one thing before I start the story. This is an update to a story that I did roughly back in October of 2022, where we had a 50-year-old man who go by the name of Lucio Diaz, who was seen on camera urinating inside the water dispenser and also multiple bottles. And he did this at his place of employment. And his place of employment was the Westmont Medical Building. And for my people who are familiar with the Houston area or who is from Houston themselves, you all know exactly what his place at. Now, as I'm going to break this story down, you're going to see how diabolical and how sinister some people can be. And worse than anything, he did not only pee in these women water bottles, but he also gave these women a STD, multiple STDs. They say herpes and also hepatitis. Now, some reports leave out hepatitis. Some reports leave in hepatitis, but every report that I have read stated that he have gave these women herpes.
I learned that I acquired an STD for which he has also come back as having tested positive for.
Now think about this. You going to work to earn a living, to make a paycheck for yourself, take care of your family. But then at the same time, you got somebody else who's coming to work, not to work, but to piss in your water bottles. Now, lo and behold, just a few weeks ago, Lucio Diaz was sentenced to 6 years in prison for infecting 13 women with herpes and also urinated in their water bottles in water dispenser. So let me ask you all this, family, before we break the story down. Do you think 6 years is adequate enough time for Lucio nasty-ass Diaz to be sentenced? Because me personally, I think they should have deported his ass. And you might be saying, well, Trey, you mean to tell me this man's an immigrant? Yes. Lucio Diaz, nasty butt, is an immigrant. And one thing about it, you got to understand, you would think that if you're from another country and you got in our country illegally, you would think that your ass would be happy. You would think that you would abide by the rules. But Lucio Diaz wasn't trying to hear none of that. Now, instead of them deporting Lucio Diaz, nasty butt, they decided to give him 6 years in state prison. And they also say that Lucio Diaz will be eligible for parole in 3 years. And one thing to Lucio Diaz, if you watch this video, or if a guard is around you that has a cell phone, Lucio, take my word of advice. You need to get the hell out of Texas, especially out of Houston, because them women are mad as hell, just like anybody else will be. So let me ask you all this, family, before we break it all down. How would you feel if you was to catch somebody on camera? Because this was caught on camera. This is not hearsay. How would you feel if you catch somebody on camera, a man or a woman, peeing inside of your water bottle and also the water dispenser? How would you feel and how would you react knowing that somebody done violated you in this manner? Now, just to give you all a little backdrop as to how all of this came out, it all started, they say, and I think it started before August of 2022, where we had one office worker at the Westmont Medical Building who stated that she went to the water dispenser several times and she noticed that the water had a strange smell to it and also had a strange color to it.
In late August, she noticed a foul smell in the employee water dispenser, like this one at the doctor's office where she works on the East Freeway.
Now, I'm going to tell you all this before I go any further. If you at work or anywhere, even at home, if your water smells a certain way, guess what? Do not drink it. Something's wrong with it. And also, more than anything, we all know what color water is supposed to be. And what color is that today, family, for those who are a little slow today? That is clear. So if you at work or whatever or at home and you happen to have a water bottle or you're near a water dispenser and that water smells funny and it also has a yellowish tint to it, chances are somebody peed in there and it's not Lucio. But back to the story. Now, the woman noticed in August of 2022 that the water dispenser was smelling funny and also the water had a funny smell to it. And after this discovery, the woman decided not to drink out the water dispenser no more. Now, she thinking that she's home free, just like anybody else would, and that would solve the problem. But no, Lucio was on top of everything. So, following that September, the woman started bringing her water bottles to work in hopes of avoiding whatever was going on. So, she set up a hidden camera inside of her office, and she noticed Lucio walking inside the office, acting like he was cleaning up the office, and then Lucio decided to stick his penis inside his woman's water bottle and also urinate. And then on another occasion, he also stuck his penis inside the water bottle and rinsed his penis off with the water bottle.
Stick his penis into my water, probably, I would say maybe halfway in, and then tilt the bottle back and basically rinse his penis into my water.
That's a damn shame right there. And just think how distraught you would be. And you mean to tell me that not only after he had got caught, the company that he was working for, Westmont Medical Building, now I don't know the servicing company that he was working through, but they allowed Lucio to stay on even after it was discovered on video, and they had the video of him doing this. They still allowed this man to work.
Their attorney says that the companies allowed Diaz to keep working as a janitor in the office building despite knowing that he allegedly gave them herpes.
So let me ask you all this, family. Why did Westmont Medical Building allow Lucio Nasty Butt to continue working knowing what he have done? And it's not hearsay because once again, they had the evidence. But anyway, he has been sentenced to 6 years, and hopefully they will deport his ass while he's in prison or when he get out of prison. But either way it go, family, he does not deserve to be in our country. And let's continue with the story.
To the disturbing case of a janitor who was accused of infecting more than a dozen office workers with an incurable sexually transmitted disease.
And as you heard the news state, these victims, these 13 different women, and they say it's also maybe more. So for anybody who worked at Westmont Medical Building back in 2022 and you became sick, or if you had some kind of STD and you know you're not out there giving up that cookie or that wood, chances are you may need to go get checked and also talk to your lawyer, because they're saying that they believe it's more victims that's been involved with this situation going on with Lucio.
We told you about Lucio Diaz. He is charged with indecent assault and assault with a deadly weapon.
And also add to the story, you heard the news state that he is also being charged with assault with a deadly weapon. And we already know what that deadly weapon is. And what's that, family? That's that nasty diggling. Anyway, let's continue.
Accused of urinating in a woman's water bottle who eventually drank from it and tested positive for a disease.
And as I told you all earlier in the video, this woman drunk from this water bottle and also out the water dispenser, and lo and behold, she became infected with an STD. And they say she's infected with herpes. Now just think about this. If you don't live your whole life without having any STD, without having any problem like that, then all of a sudden you go to work and then your company hire a damn immigrant, and we don't know if he's illegal or not, but chances are he is. Now, just think about this. You at work trying to make an honest living for yourself, and you got somebody in the background peeing all over the damn place, inside the water dispenser, and also inside of your damn bottles that you brought to work. Let's continue.
We had just heard from one woman who said that she was angry, very upset, frustrated, because she says that she got this STD because Diaz urinated in her water bottle.
And as you heard the news state, family, the woman, the victim, is very angry, just like anybody else would be. And I'm sure the other women are also angry at Lucio Nasty Butt. But more than anything, I would be mad at the damn company that I work for before allowing this man to keep working there after he have infected me.
Their attorney says that the companies allowed Diaz to keep working as a janitor in the office building despite knowing that he allegedly gave them herpes.
And also think about this. Just think if you married and you got a husband at home and neither one of you all mess around, neither one of you all cheat, nobody has an outside STD or anything because everybody's being faithful. And just think, if you go get checked up one day and come to find out you got herpes or you got hepatitis, what you going to think? You're going to think your spouse gave it to you. And guess what? That may cause problem or get somebody unalive, like you all say, like you all can't say kill anymore. Anyway, let's continue.
Well, since October now, 12 more women have come forward. So that brings the total to 13 women saying this happened to them.
And as I told y'all earlier in the video, it started with one woman who was discovering what was going on. But also, lo and behold, 12 more women have come out and stated that this happened to them. So now we have 13 different victims. And they also saying, like I told y'all earlier in the video, that they believe it's more victims. And once again, if you was working at Westmont Medical Building between August and September or October of 2022, chances are you need to go get checked up if you ain't got checked. And also, if it comes back that you have an STD and you knowing that you're not messing around in any kind of way, you need to go talk to you a lawyer. But they also saying that they are suing the company that Lucio was working through and also the company that they was working for. Because why?
Their attorney says that the companies allowed Diaz to keep working as a janitor in the office building just by knowing that he allegedly gave them herpes.
And now the nail in the coffin, the main thing that's going to sink the whole ship is the fact that they allowed this nasty ass man to continue working inside his office around these women that he was targeting. Just think how diabolical that must be for a company to allow that. You mean to tell me that you're going to put a damn immigrant above your own workers who happen to be American citizens? That's a damn shame. And also, I noticed that a lot of news stations is not carrying this story. I wonder why. Maybe it's because the perpetrator is not black or white. You already know how it goes when it comes to race in our country. But I bet you one thing, if Lucio was any other color or race, guess what? He would be all over the front page of every damn news. Because you mean to tell me that you can sit up here and put on every news station about a woman getting beat up in McDonald's with a coffee pot? Y'all remember the video I done. But you cannot sit up here and inform the public about a man who was at work pissing in the water dispensers and also water bottles of people's personal use and giving these people STDs, multiple people, and not too many news stations carry that. I wonder why. Let's continue.
Former janitor was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
And now in closing, as you all heard the reporter state, Lucio Diaz was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And once again, for those who've been paying attention, what's the deadly weapon? It's not the urine, no. It's that nasty diggling. And also, shame on Lucio nasty butt, and shame on Westmont, and shame on the contractor who hired him to go to Westmont to work, because he should have been fired the moment all of this came to light. But even though Lucio Diaz violated these women, the women lawyers are saying that he's trying to get these women over $1 million some a piece.
As far as our petition is concerned, obviously we are seeking the maximum allowed under Texas law. Okay. It's above $1 million per claimant.
And I know that's not going to be able to take back what was taken from them, the trust or whatnot, and also that incurable STD. But at the same time, hopefully it can make it a little better. But like I told y'all, be careful when you at work. Be careful of your surroundings at all times, because you just never know the type of people that you're working around. And once again, shame on everybody involved in this. Westmont, Lucio Nasty Butt, and also the contractor who hired Lucio to go work at Westmont. Shame on everyone. Anyway, you all let me know what you think about this story. If there's anything I may have missed or misinformed, which is not my true intent, please let me know in the comment section, or you can email me and we can talk about it more there. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. Also share the video with your family and friends. Till next time, you all stay blessed. And I will see y'all soon on the next Trey King Show. And guess what? I'm out.